In this quick exercise, I will show you how we can use concepts canvas, paper background, together with just black and white pencil and an ink pen to very quickly create an interior view. And in this exercise, we will kind of like focus primarily on the element that has a little bit more weight, kind of like where the three vases are. So I will take a screenshot of this. Very good. And give myself a copy. Very nice. And I will make a new document. So how do we set up the paper cutter? Very easy. Just go to background and we will select brown. I also have my layers set up so they're on the right side, and my tools. Very basic ink pen. Important 100%. Then this is a hard pencil. 0.01 and another hard pencil 0.01 white, and the other one is black. Okay. So how do we start? I will import the image from here. So we have something as a reference. So you can see what I'm all the time talking about. And again, what we will try now to do is simulate when you meet with a client and you want to very quickly sketch something out. So there's our image. Very good. Now we can lock it. And here I will call this maybe grid. Okay. Then let's go to the ink pen. We will turn guide on. And somewhere on this paper, we will just make a line there. That is our ink pen. Okay. Just for reference, let's also make a circle. Double tap onto the center where you see this plus, and then we can scale this up maybe to there, and then with the pen we draw a circle. Very good. The circle is kind of like the cone of vision. We should never draw anything out of it. Okay, so how do we start now? Where do we start drawing? Sketching is less an art. Sketching is a process. You just need to know the proper process, how to break this down into simple steps before really going into the tiny details. Because what we want to prevent is draw the vases, draw the rest, and then we notice, oops, nothing really works. One problem of art history classes is also they always show the final piece. They don't show the process, how somebody got to there. Okay, so step number 1, our line is 100%. I need to somewhere figure out, okay, so where would I like to have a corner? Maybe here. And I can draw this line. Now, when the lower line under the horizon is kind of like this, then I'm actually more on the ground, looking up. Is this more like this? Then I'm actually under the ceiling, looking down. So I will try, in this case here, something that is kind of like 50-50, maybe like this. Okay, good. Then I will draw this one really long. This actually now will define my front face of the bookcase. And maybe my lines are a little bit too long. So I shorten this a little bit. Okay. Yeah. So now when I go to here, draw vertical, very good. From here, draw there to there. And there is the right side of my bookcase. Vertical line should always be perpendicular to the horizon line. Now you know that. Okay, so from here, now I can draw a line over to there and there. This is the bottom and top edge of the wall. Now everything is a little bit confusing, which is why we can go in and, for example, remove some of these lines we don't really need. There we are. Okay. Can also clean up this a little bit. Good. So now we can see, is this perspective good? Does this look kind of accurate? We can do a very quick check. So when we put a carpet in, how much space do we have for the carpet? Okay, yeah, then this can work out. Good. So this we can lower a little bit. That's our underlay. We will continue working with this actually a lot. Now, let's start sketching our bookcase or the construction where the vases are on. We go to the next layer, pen, and smoothing is set basically to 0, and the idea is now to try to work really fast. Don't think. Don't try to control it. Just work. Turn off your brain. Just draw. Very often, actually, I find this works much better. We have here and here 2 interesting details. So they go in. So how can we ideally sketch this out? So I will actually do it this way. So in this layer where I want to know where I want to do my drawing now, you see how I'm connecting from the vanishing points, left and right, some lines to each edge. No? You see that. Actually, hold on, let me go back. Let me do this on the grid. Simply this way, it's easier to see the bottom part and the top part. I try all to be kind of like evenly spaced out. That's when you will remove. So you see that I will work more on one side first. Okay, so now I have my guidelines. And on the pen layer, actually, let's call this outlines. I can decide how far does this go in there. Well, it's obviously way too much. Maybe here, and then just very quickly try to draw the stuff. We can zoom in a lot, and again, just draw fast. I'm rotating the drawing all the time so that I can comfortably draw these lines. Also, little tip, don't make this too small because then it's difficult to draw. Don't make this too big because now we have a really long line to draw. So for example, here I will go to something like this. And then I try with controlled strokes, draw this not too fast, not too slow. Okay. There. And maybe here. Whoops. There. Okay. One more. And if you really super off, 2 fingers and undo. Okay. For example, the top now, that bothers me a little bit. So, oh no, 1 second. Filter. Oh, no, only active. So, 1 second. Good. Yeah, so here select only what is on this outline layer. There. Good. Because I wanted to have everything on grid still there. And there. Cool. Okay. I can continue drawing quickly this. Very nice. Go to here. Kind of like work it off. So, a lot of that stuff now is done. What I can do next is, now I can go from here to there and from there to there. So you see now I have these edges. And there's the other one. Cool. Now, since I have a lot of these lines drawn, all this, that is kind of not needed anymore. So I'm deleting it. And I'm going to add some other details now. For example, from here through this point, I draw a line. And the same here. And then I can come from here. Oh, nope, not from there, sorry. From there and draw a line to there to there. So now I can decide, okay, how far here do I go in? Maybe like this. Connect this, okay. So that is good. Now, how do I draw this line? I don't know. Here, quickly block this out. And there we have actually our path. So you see actually how easy, in this case, this is a 2-point perspective drawing is. Particularly with concepts, because we can show, hide everything all the time. We can adjust, move, rotate, scale easily. Again, this is #1 reason why I personally prefer this app compared to everything else, even while I own these apps. Because of this app, actually, I even bought an iPad to start with. Okay, let's take a look. You see, takes shape. Kind of cool. In outlines, zack, 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 zack. We have here front corner. There's a front corner, and we also have an inner edge here. So yeah, how I drew left and right meeting at the center. Good. Again, it's not about clean lines, it's about quick sketch. Get an idea out. Very good. So let's see what else we can do. We can continue blocking this out a little bit. Also here. Kind of like so that it's not so boring. In the back, maybe we would like to have a wall. Now I can decide, well, how deep, what's this distance? So maybe here this would end. Why did I draw this line? There, you see how I'm adding these lines, because then along there Sometimes a pencil needs a warm-up. There. Back edge. So it's actually a wall and the height is correct. Very nice. Good. We can go ahead, clean up everything a little bit. And just remove all the stuff we don't really need. Okay, nice. So, there I have an artifact. Okay, how do we continue? Let's do the vases. So, new object, vase. There we are. One in the center and then left and right, one nicely subdivided. Okay, let's start drawing somewhere. Nope, this is not what we do. Again, we plan stuff out. If you want, take a look at work in the museum. You can go Google and then try to find images where they show how everything was designed, the composition, etc. Then you see everything was pre-planned. So here you see via diagonals and then finding where two diagonals meet the midpoint. I found the vertical and abracadabra, I have the left, center and perspectively correct right point. Now before I continue, again, thank you concepts. This is so nice that you allow me to correct stuff that was a little bit too wonky. So here, this needs a little bit more space this way. Okay, good. Also, height of the vases. Do we make the we make the vases a little bit smaller. So you see how I'm controlling via this line, the vase height there. This is actually going to be the bottom part. So this would kind of like go to the vanishing point. Okay, so I roughly know where this is. So let's go ahead. This thing here I will lower a little bit so it's easier to see what I'm doing. And maybe like this. Okay, that's at the bottom. So the ellipse is really horizontally here. And here's now a trick. How do we try to make sure we draw this clean? So you see, I'm paying attention to the proportion. Okay, and then here, put that thing on top. Okay, now here the same. Go straight up. That's kind of like my center part. Go down, arc a little bit. Nice continuous drawing. I'm making an ellipse kind of like perpendicular to it. There we are. Here everything can get a little bit smaller, so the ellipses get tighter, but don't overdo it. There we are. Very good. Where is this line coming from? There. Okay. No, yeah, we have some quick ellipse sketches. Not beautiful, not perfect. But this is fine, what we try to do. Cool. These center lines, they were helps, so I take them out. Very good. Now, how do we continue? Let's make a layer called shadow. You start noticing how much this is really process. And highlight. Obviously, I learned all this stuff way before there were computers. So we did this pen, paper, pastel, baby powder, cotton pads, fun time. And it was always, oh, please don't make a mistake. So, and I acknowledged this psychological fear of messing up, and then you wasted half an hour. The cool thing with concept is we don't have this fear. So highlights go into highlights, shadow go onto shadow. Just a little bit there. You see how I'm drawing over? I can even draw these shadows this way, really big. But whatever I do, try to do this consistent. Same pen pressure. Okay, and then, cool thing, we're not going to use the mask tool, we're going to use the slice tool and simply trim everything away, kind of like an eraser. And it's only set on active, no? So I'm only getting rid of stuff on this layer I'm also on. Pretty cool. And in this way, you can get really nice details there. How would this look when we just do the same the way we did the highlights with just some lines? Maybe some more, give this some thickness. Looks actually nicer. Okay, try this out. There. So some lines, I can actually now arc these lines a little bit more. Some I give a little bit more pressure. So it makes then this shadow look a little bit more three-dimensional. Okay, and nope, this is not on the shadow. Then I go back to the vase layer because here I would like to add a little bit more of detail too. And I continuously simply sketch on it and just move my pen. So via layering, I just add more stuff to it. Cool. Needs some flowers. Actually, no, I realized these ellipses are really bad. They should be nearly flat. It's okay. Let me leave it like this. Artistic interpretation. Here we want to have some fun stuff coming out. Just randomize it. Okay, cool. Let's do a light. New object. I mean, new layer, light. So from here, or just a line, because that's easier to erase later. Let's take this stuff out. Okay, so somewhere up there we want to have some recessed lights. Ellipse and ellipse and ellipse. No idea if the sizes are correct. Doesn't matter so much. This should just look maybe good. We can select this. Go to stretch. Okay, let's see. Well, would this look better when it's scaled? Yeah. They were too big. Maybe like this. Okay, good. Since they're on, maybe some nice little dots. And let's take a look. You see there's stuff coming out. So how do we do this? So when this is paper and you put your pen down this way, you make a nice thin line. But the moment you start angling your pen, you start making more like a broader stroke. So this is what I'm going to do now. And there it is. Control the pressure well. Not too hard because then it's too strong. I want this to be gentle, you know, and kind of like go down this direction. And then it just gets wider. And maybe if we fade it out, could even try this out a little bit stronger and then gets weaker and weaker. Okay, and correct. Do we use the trim tool here again? Or slice, I should say. Kind of like in conical shapes. Yeah, it looks like now there's something coming down. The left ones actually look pretty decent. So let's do this one more time. That's the only tricky thing. We need to have the same pen pressure and replicate it. Let me give you a little trick about how to stylize this stuff. So I select all this and delete it. Including you, buddies. Okay, you too, come on. And the rest we can leave. Okay, so now I will do this. Wrong angle. Better. And now I'm getting softer. That was too strong. Well, takes a little bit of practice. And we can put it a little bit more one more time, just as an overlay. Okay, good. So this, for example, I can make a copy. And then here, zoom, zoom, zoom. Do this, select this one, bring this over. There. Scale, maybe make this a little bit smaller. And do the same. We do the same. And actually, we can even select this, make a copy, bring this over. Just be careful, and when we copy and paste stuff, that this stuff doesn't look like too much the same, no? Okay. Let's not spend too much time on this. Maybe there is some sort of light here at the bottom. You notice I'm just putting dots down. Maybe that comes light from the left side, so some vertical lines here. You can experiment more compressed or use the broader side, more like a pastel. I just think they really don't stick out, so I just go with just a zigzag line. Okay, how do we do this part? That's an interesting step-by-step process too. So go to shadow, there's this thing, and I will go to here first, make this smaller, and then try to find the correct pen pressure. And they are faded out here too. And fade it out. And then slice tool over it. Just moved the layer by accident. Cool. So these two are perfectly positioned. How do I do now the one in the center? Let's just move this out. Again, this is why I just like concepts so much. Not that you cannot do these things in Photoshop too. Concepts is just, it's just made for quick drawing. There. And then all this we just bring back. Okay. Maybe this is a little bit too strong, so do we want to adjust the shadow a little bit, maybe 50%? No, that's too weak. Again, a really nice thing about concepts. Maybe some extra lines to just give this some more gradient. Good. Here, this is actually pretty easy. I want to have something in there. And there. Less dark. Very good. Yeah, we slowly reached the end of this exercise. I said we will primarily focus on that part, but you start noticing this is pretty much really, how could I say it, like color by numbers. Work with a grid, put this down, or perspective system, and then step by step block everything. And the key here really is we have to layer stuff. Oops, yeah, right. Correct key, add tool. Then when we layer everything, it's fine. I want to show one last thing. I make another layer here and go to this. I will use a soft pencil. Also black. Size correct. Good. And this I put really on top. And then with this, for example, I can go over and add an extra punch to the piece. So why do I do this? I don't know if this will work out. So let's give this a try. See, even if it's a pencil, when I press really hard, it looks pretty saturated. Like it's an ink pen. So I'm drawing by outlining this, I'm drawing the attention right to there. Okay, let's see. Now you see how visually it helps. Maybe there and there. One more, and maybe this. We need here. This line needs a little bit more. There. Very good. Okay. Last thing maybe to show. So we call this one maybe contour or contrast line. Contour outlines. That's yeah. How do we do very quickly the lights? So this can go to here. Very good. Also there, I will actually do the following. So from here, No, actually I will use this tool, but turn this on for the moment. So one line there, kind of like trying to plan this out. Even the position a little bit more. Yeah. So I do one line to here and then one line to there. How do I find the midpoint? Again, zack, zack, there's the midpoint. Okay, very good. Then these lines I do not need anymore. Hold on. Actually, there. I'm going to disconnect them. Select all those. Very good. So now you see, perfect grid, super easy. And then we turn this back to normal. There. These lines, they were really more a helper. So, but they're still kind of like nice to have. Like, let's make them transparent. And then this is my vertical line. So way that will get a little bit smaller. Okay, you see that this one is bigger and then here this gets smaller. Okay, very good. What did I do there? Yeah, in case these are recessed lights. Oh my god, what did I do? Please forgive me. The rotation. Hey, did I say this is amazing to do in concepts? Imagine this on pen paper. I should write a book, and I don't call this sketching for interior design. I simply call it fearless sketching. I think most people don't like to sketch because they're afraid to make mistakes, particularly like with students. Now we are on time, so we pick things which are easy. Yeah, this looks good. So there's the highlight stuff. So I'll put the stuff onto there. And if I want, maybe indicating that something comes down, maybe with the thin or thicker pen side experiment. Let's make this look more like recessed. Yeah. Okay. Very good. So, the really last thing is then, how do we fade stuff out? How do we call this? Oh. Oh, I see. Okay. So, select. And this, we move on to the light layer. Good, that makes more sense. Sweet. Then on this layer, we can do, for example, let's say there's a door somewhere. So now we really want not the client to pay attention to what's really nicely inked, but hey, let's give the rest still in context. So here maybe some some lines. So you see how I'm actually parallel drawing, because this is just only a quick idea. I'm not going to pay much attention to it. So I'm just only blocking out proportions. Okay. And from this vanishing point there, okay, to the other side. So that's maybe or drape, for example, could be. I have absolutely no idea how to draw a drape, and this stuff even here does not need to be detailed. The quicker and looser we can do it, aka suggestive, the better, because then with this we allow a person to have their own interpretation of it. Just to make sure they understand this is just not some thing on the wall, but actually kind of like a frame. Yeah, there's maybe kind of like an outside highlight on it, and maybe this is glass. There. So we fade it out. Awesome. Look at that. Now, 2 tools, 3 tools, a pen, a black pencil, white pencil, using guides, and yeah, use layers and copy and paste to move stuff around. And then very quickly we can create such a beautiful looking sketch. This was narrated, 42 minutes. Okay. When you can draw it, it will be faster by yourself.